This may not be the video you want, but this is the video you need because this video is all about the mistakes that newbies make. I know a lot of people want to focus on how to make more money because I don't have any money, Hoan. How do I make more money? I know a lot of people want to focus on that. But in today's video, we're going to be focusing on the mistakes that you can avoid so that you don't waste more money. Hey guys, welcome to the Hoan Zone where we help you multiply the assets you own. If you guys don't know, I'm Hoan. I've been an investor for the last 10 years, the last decade, 10 years. That's crazy to me. But in that time, I have made a ton of mistakes. And in that time as well, I have helped a lot of people become real estate investors. And in helping them become real estate investor, I have seen a lot of mistakes made. I've seen what they've done because they thought they knew it all. And I've seen the things that I've done because I thought I knew it all. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the things that you guys should avoid so that you can make more money by not wasting more money. All right, let's get right into it. The first one is being an undercover real estate investor. If you don't tell anybody what you're doing, how is it that they are going to know what it is that you do? If you're looking to buy more properties, if you're looking to buy houses, then let them know, because what happens is when somebody finds out that you're trying to buy a property, they go, oh, my sister, my uncle, my aunt, my cousin, coworker, whoever is selling a property. Then you get to buy that property with no competition, and that's fantastic. So don't be an undercover real estate investor. Let everybody know what it is that you're doing. The one big mistake that I see all of the time is people will post, move in silence. That's dumb. Don't do that. You're too new. Don't move in silence. You're not even a business yet. Nobody knows you exist. If you move in silence, then your business is going to die. So don't be an undercover real estate investor. Let everybody know what it is that you do. The next thing that I see people do is they go it alone. Going it alone is one of the worst things you can do because you're going to have thoughts on how to do something and you could be completely wrong. And if you're completely wrong, you are going to waste a lot of money trying to clean up the mistake you just made. So don't go it alone. Have a coach, have a mentor, have somebody who's been where you've been or trying to go. Have somebody who's been where you're trying to go and just follow their path, because real estate is not a brand new thing. It is old. It is an old business model. It is not a new idea. It is not the new hip, trendy, tech, whatever. It is an old business model that has been proven time and time and time again that it works. But there are still pitfalls that you can fall into if you don't know what you're doing. I've seen this happen so many times. People go it alone, and here's the problem. They're afraid to ask questions because they're afraid of looking bad. Here's the thing. What looks worse? You asking a question because you don't actually understand something or know something, or you taking action and losing $20,000? Which one looks worse? Losing $20,000. I much rather you ask a question if you're confused about something. And even though it's like, oh, I should know this already, right? If you don't know it, then you don't know it. So ask the question, get clarity so that you don't lose $20,000. All right, there are two parts to the professional thing here. First part is hire professionals when needed. Make sure you get the right advice from professionals when it's appropriate. I see people trying to get tax advice from Facebook or some other social media platform. And here's the thing. You will get a whole bunch of different answers, and some of them will be right and some of them will be wrong. But because you're brand new, you don't know the difference, and you're going to get conflicting answers. And here's the thing. Both answers that you get could be right depending on a situation. But see, you don't know your situation fully, so you didn't know how to divulge it to the person answering your question. And so you didn't, because they don't know your full story, they give you one answer that they think is correct when really the other answer was the appropriate one, or vice versa. Because you're new, hire professionals so that you get the right answer based on your situation. That's the thing, right? Now, the part two of professionals is that sometimes the professionals don't know. So when I teach you guys how to be a real estate investor, what I often show you guys are creative ways to doing deals when your situation isn't pristine. What I mean by that is maybe your credit's a little bad, maybe you don't have enough money, maybe you don't have enough time, maybe whatever, right? And you're going to go to a professional, like let's say you're going to go to a lender, you're going to go to a bank, and you're going to sit down with the banker, and you're going to say, hey, I want to buy this property, I'm going to need money for rehab, I'm going to need this, I'm going to need that, right? Please help me buy this property. Now, I would have never told you to do that, but because you think you know everything, because you're going it alone and you don't take advice from anybody, you go out and you're like, I can do this myself. And then you go to the bank and you seek out a professional because they work at a bank. They should know, hey, I was told that I can do this and this and this and this. Give me the money to go buy this property. And the banker goes, whoa, you can't do that. right? A lot of professionals say, oh, you can't do that. What they're saying is that they can't do it for you, right? What they're really saying is that they can't do it for you. When I tell you how to do something, when I'm teaching you guys something and it's creative because your unique situation requires it to be creative because maybe your credit's not great, maybe your money situation is not great, right? And I give you a creative situation. If you don't do it the way I suggest, it doesn't work. If you try to go it alone and then you seek that professional to help you and they say, whoa, you can't do that, it's really saying that they can't help you do that because they don't have the product for it. An example, sometimes people, they go out and they try to get a loan on a property in an LLC. And they will talk to a banker who does mortgages. And when they talk to that mortgage person, they're like, oh, you can't do that, right? You can't do that. When really what they're saying is, I can't do that because I can't give you a loan in an LLC name. If the property was in your name, I can give you a loan. And then you think to yourself, okay, well, that's the solution. I'm gonna buy the property in my name. And then all of a sudden, you've changed the parameters. Now you're gonna buy the property in your name, but now they don't have a product that fits you because their product that requires your name also has high credit requirements or high money requirements or high income requirements or low DTI requirements. And now you're in a different pickle, right? You got a whole bunch of other problems and you didn't realize what you were doing. Doing it this way has one set of problems. Doing it this way has a different set of problems. You got to know how to negotiate either one. You talk to a professional. They will tell you what they can do, but it has nothing to do with them. You need it done the way we discussed. You go it alone, you don't know how to actually do it. You go to the professionals, they say you can't do that, and then you believe them. And it's not that you can't do it, because I have shown people how to do things in creative ways and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that worked. And it's like, hey, well, I've been there 1,000 times, so I know it works. You just have to trust the process, right? So when a professional says you can't do that, you don't want to necessarily just believe them face value. It is not truth. It's just that they don't have the product to serve you. It's a very big difference from you can't do that or I don't have the product to allow you to do it the way you're talking about. Two totally different things. Just like with professionals, budget has two parts to it, but not having the budget for whatever it is that you're trying to do. Like you don't have the money set aside to do something. I have a story. I have an investor who got a hard money loan and they didn't realize that a hard money loan, when it comes to the construction part, they pay you or they give you the money on a reimbursement basis. You go do the work first and then they give you the money afterwards, reimbursement. When they got the hard money loan to buy the property, okay, first part done. Second part, get the rehab done. They called a hard money lender. Hey, I need the money. Please send me the money so that I can go do the work. And they said, whoa, hold on there, Sonny. We give you the money after the fact. And they're like, oh my gosh, so what do? I'm stuck. I don't have any more money, right? So then this person had to scramble and beg and borrow money from wherever they did, right? They got the work done. They got reimbursed. All great, right? So they didn't budget to have enough money. Now, when I say budget, I don't necessarily mean you have to have a whole bunch of money in savings. If this person had a line of credit and they were aware that they were going to need an extra $20,000, but they had a line of credit for another $25,000, then they would have been fine. So budgeting doesn't mean saving. It just means having the money available to you. So a lot of newbie investors, they don't budget correctly. They don't know that they need extra money here, extra money there. So they just think like, okay, I have just enough. Let me get started. And having just enough is typically not enough. It doesn't have to be your money. You just need to have access to it. So budgeting the right amount of access is important. The budget part number 2 is even worse. So I've seen people where they're so desperate to buy a property because being a real estate investor is so exciting, it's so cool that they want to desperately buy a property. So they see a property and they run their analysis. And their analysis shows them that in order for this to be a good deal based on what I teach my students, right? In order for this to be a good deal, maybe the rehab budget needs to be $50,000. Or I'm sorry, yeah, $50,000, right? So they need to fix up the property for $50,000. That's what it shows on the paper, that's what I need in order for it to be a good deal. So they're like, okay, cool. A contractor goes out there, he would actually charge $70,000 for that job. Like all the contractors, let's say, they all agree that this project actually costs $70,000, not $50,000. But because the investor doesn't have a huge pipeline of properties that they're looking to buy, and they only have that one deal, and they see that this deal needs to have a rehab of $50,000 in order for it to work, they will convince themselves that $50,000 is the budget for the rehab, and that's that, right? That's what they need it to be. So then they'll go out and somehow get the money with a $50,000 budget for rehab. And then as they're doing the work, they realize they don't have enough money to complete the rehab because, like we said, it's actually $70,000, not 50. They've been telling themselves 50, 50, 50, 50, 50 over and over and over. Problem is, it's not actually that. So don't budget for what you need it to be to pencil out on paper. Budget what it actually is going to be. People get so desperate to do deals. They want to be a real estate investor so badly that they fake themselves out and they create a false budget for the rehab, and that's just not going to do it. Like, that's not going to make you a real estate investor. That's going to set you back even further. You're not, yes, you bought a property, but it was a bad one. Again, it goes back to that, like, being alone and like being afraid to not ask a good question and rather lose 20 grand than to ask the good question, right? How about ask the question like, hey, does this budget look correct? That little question could have saved you $20,000 or more. Who knows, right? But that's the thing about budget, what it actually is, not what you need it to be. The final one on the list are lies. Lies, not the lies that people tell to us. It's the lies that we tell to ourselves. We often lie to ourselves and we tell ourselves stories that don't serve us and that just aren't true. We'll tell ourselves, oh, my credit's bad. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, I'm not smart enough. Oh, I came from a broken family. Oh, I don't know anybody with money. Oh, I don't know this and that, whatever, right? And we tell ourselves lies and we tell ourselves false stories that make it okay for us to step on the brake pedal. By telling us, like, if I tell myself, Hoan, your credit is bad. You can't be a real estate investor. So then I press the brakes. Well, it's okay that I press the brakes because my credit's bad. And if I believe that story that I can't be a real estate investor because of the bad credit, it's okay that I stopped. And if I stop, then I never let myself down. And if I never let myself down, then all is right in the world, right? I didn't win, but I also didn't lose. Well, in actuality, you are losing because the situation that you're currently in, you don't want. That's why you're exploring becoming a real estate investor in the first place, right? So by you lying to yourself, you are actually keeping yourself where you don't want to be, if you guys can understand that. Where you are right now is not where you want to be. That's why you started exploring becoming an investor. But those lies that you've been telling yourself, they keep creeping back in and they're saying, you can't do this, you can't do this. Do not allow those thoughts to win because those thoughts do not serve you. They're there to like protect you, but are they really protecting you or are they just keeping you in the jail that you always wanted to escape? That's the thing. You're going to tell yourself these lies. And because you've been telling yourself these lies for so long, you believe them. And if you're all alone, as we talked about before, if you're all alone, nobody's there to check you on those lies, on those thoughts, on those ideas. And if nobody checks you, then you're just going to run your whole entire life with these thoughts. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys, because there's so many opportunities out here. And I've seen so many people in really bad situations work, like it just worked out for them. There are always those rags to riches stories. Why can't the next one be you? For the sake of time, I kept it to those 5 points. I could be here all day trying to cover up mistakes or cover mistakes that you guys need to know in order to become a good real estate investor and a real estate investor. There's so many mistakes that people make, and those are things that you do have to be mindful of because they are there. Real estate can be a tricky business. It can be a very lucrative business. You can make a lot of money, but you can also lose some money. And so what you want to do is minimize how much money you lose. So by going over these mistakes, hopefully you guys learned something so that you don't make those same mistakes. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I've made so many mistakes in my last decade of being a real estate investor that I now know what to watch out for. And then I've helped hundreds of people become real estate investors, and I've seen the mistakes that they have made, so I've learned from their mistakes as well. And so what I get to do is help you guys avoid those mistakes through my new program, my Rental Property Multiplier Academy. So if you guys are interested in learning how to not only become an investor, but to avoid mistakes, email me at hoan@hoanzone.com. Email me there and let me know when's a good time that we can speak, and then we can get on a Zoom and we can see what you're trying to achieve and then see if you're the right fit for this program. So again, email me hoan@hoanzone.com to see if you are the right fit for the program. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Hoan Tai. Let's multiply.